How do you know when it's spring? This is how I know. Fresh asparagus, fresh green onions. Uh-huh. Let's do this. Got my first real day to work in the garden today. It's pretty exciting. I moved the chicken fence the other day, so that's progress. Those of you that are new to this channel that probably don't know how I garden, I actually let the chickens into the garden for the entire winter months, so they pick out all the extra weeds, they eat all the bugs, and then they, they poop in there all year, so fertilizer. Now they've been kicked out for the year. Now they're resigned to their smaller space. I'm actually planning on kind of moving their space up a little bit further so that we can maybe start another garden up there in the future. So got a lot of things to do today, a couple of which I've already completed. The biggest one is this is where we had city water put in last year. There was hills all through this, so had to kind of tear it up today and flatten it out, but looks good for the future. Ready for grass to grow in there. I've been waiting probably, I don't know, 9 months to do that, so it's been a little while. Okay, I'm caught in a butterfly net. You guys been working hard today, Abby? You got your own lawnmower there too, huh? I guess we better do that next. The grass looks a little bit better. Now we move the fence. Okay, we got the fence up now. Got a new place for the chickens. Hi, Abby. Okay, that's enough. Got a new place for the chickens to tear up for us, and hopefully this will be a future garden with some of our new fruit trees intermixed. Finally, gonna get around to planting some stuff. Gonna start with the 2 raised beds here first. Great job, kiddo. They are heavily, heavily watered, thanks to my little helper over there. Planted in here spinach, kale, then this side Swiss chard and radishes. So the master plan is coming together. I always feel like I'm behind with the garden, so that's that, but there's a lot of perennials in here that I think I want to try to intermingle in with the regular garden, so we're going to have that experiment right now. So you can see these are my strawberry beds, and all the little white flowers there will represent a future strawberry, hopefully. Have it protected this year with the netting because the deer ate everything last year. I support Pennsylvania hunting. But anyway, you can see on the outside of the garden beds, these strawberries have actually been runners that went up over the top and came down here last year and are now new strawberry plants out here on the outside. Another wonderful plant is this Comfrey, which I thought was all dead, but is obviously very, very alive. It's supposed to be an extraordinary permaculture plant for your garden. They call it a dynamic accumulator. It actually has roots that are so deep it pulls up minerals out of the earth, holds them in the leaves, and then you can actually use those leaves as mulch in your garden. So I kind of want to have that right in the middle of my garden. I wasn't thinking when I planted it. I planted all that Comfrey on all the outskirts of my garden, and so I can divide these. It grows like a weed, so I might as well take some root cuttings off of these, put them in here in the springtime, and see if I can propagate a little bit in the main garden as well. Finally, if you can see amongst the tall grass here, these are all onions, and so I want to take some of these onions and put them in the regular garden as well. I was thinking I had a garden full of weeds already, but these are actually all potatoes. The great experiment. Last fall we planted potatoes in the fall as we harvested potatoes, then put the potatoes back in the ground, and so they've been in there all winter and now are popping up in the spring, and it looks like the great experiment actually worked. So that cuts your potato work in half, so I'm very excited about that. Well, I always wish I had accomplished more, but you know, for tonight, got a strawberry in here. Really healthy strawberry plant from the looks of it. A couple onions transplanted over, a couple comfrey plants. How I'm looking at my garden right now is kind of this test bed, because we're starting a community garden in Kittanning here over the next couple weeks, and I'm looking at, you know, how can we make that sustainable, make that a project where we don't have to constantly be weeding and constantly be, you know, worrying about it and watering it. And so my garden hopefully will be the model for a garden in town. And if we can take annual plants and then gradually transition it into perennial plants and then move on to another lot and expand the garden and make it bigger and still have a lot of edible stuff there for all the people in our great little community. The kids seem very excited to be back outside. Summer is coming. You doing some spring cleaning on your little clubhouse there? You're painting. Oh, okay, I see. Look at the beauty tonight. That's it for this one, you guys. Let me know what you think of the community garden idea. What would you most like to see planted in there? You know, what would you most like to eat fresh out of the garden? Maybe we can accommodate you, and let me know if you'd like to help as well. We're definitely gonna need lots of helpers, especially for the initial setup. This kind of a garden, I think it's easier in the long run, but in the short run with the initial work, I think it's actually quite a bit harder. But, you know, I know we can tackle it. We got a great community. We got a lot of great volunteers at the church, and I just know it's going to be an awesome summer, you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and see you in the next one.